Hey everyone, Creepy here. So today we're going to be covering Jar's most recent video about woke Hollywood. And yes, it's been a while since I've covered a Jar video, but hey, let's get into it. So I'll be skipping the first minute or two, mostly because I don't really have anything to add there. And he's really just stating the movies that he will be covering, such as Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse, Elemental, Ruby Gillman, Flash, and Indiana Jones 5.
So I've seen a few YouTubers I watch talk about this, even people like Moist Critical, and all of them seem to be missing the answer. It's all because of a little fella named Broke, first name Woke. But hold on there, Just a Robot. You just said Spider-Verse did good. Isn't that movie woke? Well, I guess it is a little. I mean, the main character is Blaxican.
Blaxican.
Did you hear that? Jar called Miles Morales Blaxican, a term meaning black in Mexican. But there is an issue with this. Miles Morales isn't Mexican. Miles is Puerto Rican. When I told Jar this in the comics, he responded with, I thought he was with all the Spanish speaking and how his mom looks. I was also told he was half a few times, but he's mixed race for sure. Which is true. He is mixed race, but not Mexican. This is either incredibly lazy on Jar's end, or either him or the people who told him just assume because they speak Spanish they're Mexican. Also, did you watch the movie? Because real Morales, Miles Morales' mother, talks about how Puerto Rico is a part of the United States of America because she's Puerto Rican. Also, saying because of the way the mom looks is kind of suspicious. Also, by saying that Spider-Verse is woke, this does kind of confirm that when Jar says woke for a lot of these movies, it just means people of color. I don't believe Jar is racist. I just don't think he has the ability to actually understand media beyond wokeness. Now, that's all I wanted to say about the Spider-Verse segment of the video, because he does believe the movie's good, even outside of its wokeness. By the way, woke doesn't actually really mean anything. It's a buzzword usually used by the far right to mean minorities and women. I'll also not be going over the elemental portion of this video because I haven't seen the movie.
When I heard lines in the trailer like, the women in our family have the power to turn into krakens. Really? Just the women, not the men as well? Or the love interest being black? I'm not gonna lie, I got a little nervous until I realized this wasn't a Disney movie. Something like this from the House of Mouse would have filled me with fear. But DreamWorks is a company that I have way more faith in.
Well, first, a lot of species in the ocean specifically have sexual dimorphism. One that comes to mind is anglerfish, meaning that one sex is larger than the other. So it can be read that's why the females are larger than the males within this family, especially since they are supposed to be the protectors of the krakens and the ocean. Also, Jar, if you happen to be watching this video, I think you should reflect on the fact that you got afraid that there was a black love interest. I just think that's incredibly weird to say out loud, especially since you said that Spider-Verse was kind of woke for having a biracial person.
But there was nothing in the trailer that really caught my interest. It was another generic teenage story that we've heard dozens of times over. Now I'm sure if the love interest was white, or the mother said the people in our family have the power to turn into giant krakens, that this movie would have still bombed at the box office. I think a few people might have mistook this for a Disney movie and decided not to go see it. But even then I think it would have only made a couple tens of $1,000s more, which in terms of the box office is basically nothing. Whether a movie is woke or not is not really the big issue here. A movie just has to be good and captivate their audience so they will go see it. It just so happens that a lot of woke movies just have the wokeness and nothing else to offer. This movie didn't even have wokeness, it just had nothing to offer.
I would disagree with Jar that there's no wokeness, at least with how he seems to be using the word, because, it's women and minorities that make stuff woke. The main character is a woman, and she's an incredibly powerful woman who comes from a lineage of really powerful women who defeats the evil powerful woman. I will be skipping his Flash segment since I have nothing else to add upon that discussion.
So was Indiana Jones 5 The Dial of Time a success? No. But was it woke? Well, Disney made this movie, so what do you think?
I think that it has a woman and you immediately thought it was woke because of that.
Yep, just like how now the Force is female, or how Willow is female for some reason. Indiana Jones is now also female-led.
This is just not true. Indiana Jones is the lead of his own movie. To believe otherwise is to have anti-woke glasses that block out your ability to see reality. Now, is there a secondary protagonist who's a woman? Yes, but not the main one, because guess what? A movie titled Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny is about Indiana Jones.
I really don't understand Kathleen Kennedy's strategy of taking a male-led franchise and, making a Mary Sue the main character.
Most modern Lucasfilm stuff is made with a male lead, including this movie, You Are Not Facing Reality.
As if it wasn't enough for Harrison Ford's character Han Solo to play second fiddle to a woman.
How horrible. A character that has never been the main protagonist in the series is still not the main protagonist, but it's different because when it was Luke, he was a man, but Rey's a woman, so that's why it's different. Han Solo was never the main protagonist of Star Wars, so it's nothing new.
They also had to do it to Harrison Ford's most beloved character. Now, I'm not going to go over this film beat by beat. I have another video in the works about the destruction of all the Lucasfilms IPs that Disney has used. I'm going to go into way more detail in that video, so I rather not repeat myself too much. Of course, it starts off with Indiana Jones fighting German soldiers from World War II. Yep, YouTube won't let me say the word Yahtzee, but with an N instead of a Y. But it's totally A-okay for a movie that's rated PG-13. Just like YouTube is. And no, he doesn't just fight these guys in a flashback, he's also fighting them again in 1969. Now I know what you're thinking, wasn't America's enemy communist at the time? Well, the answer is yes, and they were also his enemy in Indiana Jones 4. At least that movie knew when to get with the times.
But because communism is considered woke nowadays, we need to have Indiana Jones keep bashing the fish.
How horrible. Indiana Jones is doing what he always does and bashes the fash. But what the hell are you talking about? No, Hollywood is not like communism. They are against any labor movement at all. And there is plenty of obvious reasons to why the bad guys are Nazis. 1, because they're really obvious evil to fight. 2, because he always fights Nazis. And 3, because this takes place in the year of the moon landing, 1969, and guess who helped with the rocket ships to get to the moon? Nazis!
Indiana Jones is currently depressed. Why? Because his son is dead. Wait, what? And his wife has divorced him as well. But don't worry, they later get back together again for the 3rd or 4th time. So yes, Indiana Jones is a beloved character who's now an old, disheveled man. Just like Luke Skywalker and several other legacy characters. Fans have been waiting for years to see their favorite character on the big screen again, going on a new adventure, only to see them used as a stepping stone for yet another strong female character.
The reason why Indiana Jones is so old and disheveled is probably because they wanted to keep Harrison Ford on. And guess how old Harrison Ford is? 80 years old. That's all I want to cover when it comes to this video. It was not good. If Jar continues on this path of anti-woke stuff, he's going to be the same as the quartering, but with more effort with editing and scripting. Everything else that I didn't cover in the video, I either couldn't add anything onto or was okay. I don't want to take things out of context, so you guys can go watch the video itself. And if you enjoyed this video, please do consider liking and subscribing. Creeper out.
Socialism is when the government does stuff. And it's more socialism the more stuff it does. And if it does a real lot of stuff, it's communism.